Are you one of the people who think home automation is out of reach? Many believe it's too expensive, too complicated, or simply not for them. But what if I told you that with some planning and the right approach, you could create a home automation system tailored to your lifestyle and budget? Hello and welcome to Learn Home Automation. Today, we'll explore a case study of a relatable but fictional couple who designed their own home automation system. They wanted a smarter, more efficient home but faced the same challenges you might. In this video, I'll show you how they did it. By the end, you'll have a clearer understanding of what's possible and how to start your own home automation journey. This video is based on an article that includes more detailed lists of their documentation and brainstorming ideas. The article is linked in the description, so make sure to take a look at it for more insights on their process. Let's meet our fictional couple, Max and Julia. Their life is similar to that of many households in Europe and North America. Both in their early 30s, they work in the service industry, balancing the demands of their jobs with personal hobbies and aspirations. They live in a rented 85 square meter or 900 square feet apartment in a large city, and they have a pet cat. Recognizing the importance of conserving mental energy for what truly matters, they are committed to making long-term investments for a better quality of life. They imagine a home where everything is seamlessly connected and daily tasks are automated. They aim to feel safe, comfortable, and have more free time. To achieve this, they plan to automate their lights, install a security system, integrate their audio system, control their heating, and set up a pet feeder. They have a budget of around €1,000. The first step towards their home automation system is to document the existing state of their home. They will write down all the rooms, doors, and windows, as well as all the related lights and devices, organized into groups. Let's see a visual representation of their apartment. We can see in red the existing infrastructure, and with green everything they'd like to add or replace. The rooms include an entrance area with a hallway, an open living room, kitchen and dining area, a bedroom, an office, a bathroom, and a small balcony. For security, there's no existing alarm system, but they do have an IP camera at the entrance. Heating is managed by a central system with radiators in each main room. For cooling, they have fans with RF remotes but no air conditioning. Shading is done with manual curtains and blinds. Their multimedia setup includes a smart TV and a Bluetooth speaker. Their next step was to document their daily routines in detail, from waking up to going to sleep. Max starts his day at 6. He gets out of bed, brushes his teeth, and takes a shower. By 6:45, he's feeding their cat and cleaning the litter box. Then he prepares a light breakfast for himself and Julia. At 7:30, they sit down to eat together. After breakfast, Max tidies up the kitchen. By 8:15, he's back in his bedroom getting dressed for the day. At 8:30, he heads off to work. Max gets home around 5:30 in the afternoon, changes into more casual clothes, and relaxes while waiting for Julia. At 6, he starts cooking dinner, often with some music or a podcast playing in the background. By 6:30, they're eating dinner together. After dinner, Max cleans up the kitchen. He feeds the cat again and spends some time with his pet. By 8, he and Julia spend time together, maybe watching a movie or just chatting. At 9, Max sets aside time for his hobbies. By 9:30, he tidies up the living space, making sure everything is neat and organized. At 9:45, he starts his bedtime routine. He might read a book or spend some time on his phone until 10:30 when he turns off the lights and goes to sleep. Julia starts her day at 6, waking up and getting out of bed. She brushes her teeth and then heads straight into her morning exercise routine at 6:15. By 6:45, she's in the shower. At 7:30, she sits down to eat breakfast. After breakfast, she returns to her bedroom at 8 to get dressed for the day. By 8:15, she's on her way to work. Julia gets home around 5:45. At 6, she starts preparing dinner, often with some music or a podcast playing in the background. By 6:30, they're eating dinner together. After dinner, Julia takes care of some household chores. By 8, she and Max spend time together, maybe watching a movie or just chatting. At 9, Julia sets aside time for her hobbies and relaxation. By 9:30, she tidies up the living space, making sure everything is neat and organized. At 9:45, she starts her bedtime routine. She might read a book or spend some time on her phone until 10:30 when she turns off the lights and goes to sleep. Their weekends are less structured. They wake up later, do chores in the morning, and then go outside or visit friends. In the afternoon and evening, they spend time on their hobbies or watch a movie together. After documenting their routines, they moved on to creating a detailed list of requirements. They reflected on any other aspects of their daily life that caused inconvenience and the things that often preoccupied them. They were thorough, spending enough time to focus on details and actions related to their home, such as lights, heating, TV, music, and other electrical devices. For hallway lighting, they want the light to turn on automatically after sunset since the hallway lacks natural light. The current switch is in an awkward spot. They spend most of their time in the kitchen, living room, and office. In the kitchen, they leave the under cabinet and dining lights on while cooking and eating. In the living room, they typically use a floor lamp and a tabletop lamp, reserving the ceiling light for guests or specific tasks. In the office, they use both the ceiling light and the desk light. In the bedroom, they only use the ceiling light a couple of times a day. For entertainment, they use a Bluetooth speaker daily for music and podcasts. They don't use the TV daily and don't leave it on in the background. For cooling, they use fans in the summer, one in the living room and one in the bedroom. They sometimes leave a window slightly open for natural cooling. For security, they currently use an IP camera at the entrance, monitored via their smartphones. They want a better security solution with notifications that are noticeable but not disruptive. They're mindful of the cat triggering the security system. They interact with curtains and blinds daily, opening them for natural light and closing them for privacy and darkness in the evening. For pet care, they fill the cat's bowl twice a day and clean the litter box every morning. They ensure the cat has fresh water and monitor her activity levels. They are mindful of energy consumption and strive to use resources efficiently. For heating, they decided not to automate it due to the existing central infrastructure and rental constraints. Simple thermostatic valves for the radiators will suffice. They won't automate the bathroom lights since the switch is convenient and the benefits aren't worth the effort and cost. They also won't automate the ceiling lights in the bedroom and living room because these lights are used infrequently and sporadically. With their detailed routines and requirements in hand, Max and Julia created an initial list of automation ideas. To make the task easier, they organized their ideas according to the time of day, starting with mornings and moving towards evenings. Every morning, 30 minutes before the alarm goes off, the bedroom lights will simulate a sunrise to gently wake them up. As they wake up, the curtains in the bedroom and living room will automatically open to let in natural light. Once the sun rises, the bedroom lights will turn off automatically. In the hallway, motion lights will be installed, and after bedtime, they'll operate at half brightness. For their cat's care, an automatic pet feeder will ensure the cat is fed 2 or 3 times a day. In the kitchen and dining area, motion lights will turn on automatically when someone is in the space. To set a pleasant morning atmosphere, music will play in the kitchen in the morning. A reminder will be set close to their departure time for work, and when they leave, the kitchen, bedroom, hallway, and entrance lights, as well as the music, will turn off automatically. When they leave for work, the security system will activate in away mode, excluding motion sensors in areas where the cat is allowed. In summer, the curtains and blinds will automatically close to keep the house cool. A camera in the living room will monitor the cat's activity. When the main door opens, the entrance lights will turn on. Upon returning home, the security system will deactivate and music will start playing automatically. If the temperature in the living room exceeds a certain threshold, a fan will turn on. They'll receive a notification if the outside temperature is more comfortable than inside, suggesting they open a window. At sunset, the floor lamp and tabletop lamp in the living room will turn on and the curtains and blinds will automatically close. After dinner, there will be an easy way to turn off the music. Presence lights will be installed in the office to save energy. For a smooth bedtime routine, a bedtime switch will turn off living space lights, TV, and fan. activate the alarm in home mode, turn on bedroom lights, and turn on the bedroom fan if needed. If any window is left open at bedtime except the bedroom one, they'll receive a notification. If certain sensors are triggered when the alarm is armed, a siren and lights will activate, and a smartphone notification will be sent if the alarm is triggered while in away mode. After finalizing their ideas list, they wrote down all the automations they would need to program into their system. This list also helped them identify all the sensors and other devices they would need. For a complete, detailed list of all the automations, make sure to reference the article mentioned earlier and linked in the description. Using their automation list and ideas, they identified the types of devices and sensors needed to implement their automations. Based on their automation list, a couple of additional requirements arose. These include that motion sensors must be placed in a way that the cat cannot trigger them, and that presence sensors should be used instead of motion sensors for the living room and office due to low movement, which often causes false readings. Max and Julia chose a home automation hub that can work without internet access, prioritizing privacy and compatibility with many brands. They also valued extensive customization options and a product that would last for a long time without needing upgrades. They also decided to use Zigbee devices and sensors because they are easily available and affordable. To find the necessary devices, they first visited 3 online stores in their area to see what was available. They prioritized devices that used the Zigbee protocol, aiming to build a strong, reliable network. After compiling an initial list, they checked for compatibility with their hub. They used a Zigbee compatibility list on the internet to ensure that each device they selected was compatible. They were able to find a suitable Zigbee device for each of the categories they had identified earlier. With the device and automation plans in place, they moved on to estimating the total cost of their project. They carefully listed the cost for each component to see if they are within their €1,000 budget. They decided to leave curtains and blinds for later due to the high cost involved. Additionally, they would like to replace the blinds completely with better ones and will need to have a discussion with their landlord first. After carefully reviewing and calculating the costs, they found that the total expense for their home automation system, excluding curtains and blinds, comes to €1,120. This is slightly above their initial budget of €1,000, but they feel it's a worthwhile investment given the benefits. They will also explore potential savings by comparing prices between stores and waiting for potential discounts on these items. For the final step, they followed the guides in the hub's documentation to bring everything together and create the home automation system. They started by initializing the hub by connecting the power and network cables, creating users, and performing necessary updates. They created separate users for each of them and installed the relevant smartphone app. Then they connected their smart devices to their home automation system, allowing them to manage them from a central place. Next, they created relevant rooms, groups, and scenes in the app. For example, they grouped the 2 living room bulbs together so they could control them as one light. They did the same for the kitchen and dining ceiling lights. They also created dashboards to easily monitor and control their devices from their phones when needed. Finally, they programmed the automations using their previous list that included triggers, conditions, and actions. This process made it easy to transfer the automations from paper to the software. They tested everything thoroughly and made slight corrections as needed. After the first few days and weeks, they noticed areas where the system wasn't optimal. Whenever they encountered something that didn't meet their expectations, whether it caused discomfort or simply didn't align with their daily routine, they took note of it. At the end of each week, they reviewed their notes and made any necessary adjustments. Creating a smart home involves documenting your routines, identifying needs, selecting devices, and crafting automations. This process ensures a seamless integration into your daily life. While this scenario is based on common situations and requirements, it may not fit exactly with your own. Take inspiration from it and tailor your system to fit your specific needs and preferences. And that's it for today. Have you already started your home automation journey? If so, what was your first step? Which part of Max and Julia's process resonated with you the most? I'd love to hear your thoughts, so why not leave a comment below? Thanks for watching, consider subscribing, and I'll see you next time.